The race to beat Silent Clubstep. Everybody says this video is so good, and I still haven't watched it, so let's watch it. Right here, right now. By Math Genius. Go give him some love. We got, like, the dramatic intro. Dang! Wait, are we gonna get emotional with this one? People say this video is peak. Yeah, I got you, Nuclear.
Just like any other video game, Geometry Dash started from humble beginnings. With the game's release all the way back in August of 2013, the concept was very simple.
2013, that's this 12-year-old game. It's crazy.
You jump over spikes and hurdles with the cube, you dodge obstacles with the ship,
True?
and you make it to the end of the level without
I
dying.
can vouch for that!
Sounds simple, doesn't it? Well, nowadays it might seem like second nature, but back then, it wasn't so easy. During the first month of the game's life, there were only 7 official levels, and if you were one of the lucky few that actually beat them all, you could either try to beat user-made levels or make your own. But even with over 3,800 levels being released during this time,
That's it?
The difficulty threshold only reached 7 stars. As a matter of fact,
Yo, it took a whole update 1.0. The hardest level was a 7-star. That's crazy.
GD wouldn't see its first spike in difficulty until 2 whole updates later, when a player by the name of M2 Cole released his new level, Demon Park.
Demon Park!
Not only was
That's the reason why the demon difficulty exists.
this a level of difficulty that the community had never seen before, but this is the level that inspired the developer RobTop to create a new difficulty rating for the hardest levels in the game. The Demon.
Demons. Bro, imagine if RobTop never added the demon difficulty. Could you guys imagine, like, well, what would the game even be like now?
Ever since the introduction of this new rating, demons have slowly become the forefront of how people view and play Geometry Dash. And with the constant launch of new updates, there were more opportunities to make the hardest level.
Wait, go back. Let me go back to that.
Updates.
Bro, look at this. Look at this. Look at how many updates used to come out, chat. 1.1, September of 2013. 1.2, 2013, 1.3, 2013, 1.4, 2013, 1.5, beginning of 2014. Now we go 7 years with 0 updates. 0! What happened to RobTop, bro? Now, I think it's because back then, each update would add, like, a couple new blocks in one level. Now he has to add, like, a whole game engine every time he wants to update the game.
There were more opportunities to make the hardest level than ever before. Levels like To the Grave and Extreme Park are prime examples of this.
I'm gonna play both of
levels
those.
pushed the limits of what people already thought was impossible, and theories began sparking over how difficult levels could truly get. And this is where we introduce the level Heaven and Hell. Released by Roadbos, this level's difficulty at the time was unfathomable. No other level came even close to the
Wait, I think Roadbos also made Ice Carbon Diablo X. I'm assuming you'll talk about that soon.
demanding and punishing gameplay of Heaven and Hell. And this would be the very level that would kickstart an endless trend of testing the limits of the human body. This is the beginning of the Impossible Level series.
Yo, wait, the creator of the video is in my chat right now. What the heck? Math Genius said he just became a sub. Let's go. Let's go. W Math Genius, I'm watching your video right now. Yo, whoa, whoa, what level was that? Look at this straight fly. Is that even possible? It must be. That's crazy.
After the release of Heaven and Hell, numerous creators came out of the woodworks and sought an opportunity to not only get their name out there, but to break the skill ceiling within the game. A perfect example of this was the Korean creator Sono924 with the Hell series.
Oh, is this Son?
Not only did this send waves throughout the community,
I always said it like Sone. I might be wrong though.
but this had dethroned all other hardest demons by a long shot. But let's fast forward and
yeah, Sone was the OG to making, I think he made all of the Hell levels, like the Hell World, the Hell Odyssey, the Hell Creation, or I'm pretty sure I got all the names wrong, but you get the point.
Another 3 months to update 1.6, when a creator by the name of Play1107
That's his name?
released
How
a
legendary.
level that would begin another colossal trend within the impossible level scene. The level was Silent Club.
Yeah. Dang, so Silent Club, not to be confused with Silent Clubstep, those are different levels. Silent Club was made by a guy who didn't even have a username. That's crazy.
Now this was the definition of impossible at the time. To put into perspective how difficult this level was, we would see its first victor a staggering 7 years after it was released.
Yep.
It was without a doubt one of the hardest things the community had seen up to this point. And players would start to see a massive uptick in impossible levels using the word silent in their titles. From silent circles to silent process.
Yeah, this is when the silent thing started. It's so funny because for people outside of Geometry Dash, when we call a really difficult thing silent, it's like, what? Like silent? You can't hear it? Like, it makes no sense. But if you know, you know. Like if you're in the Geometry Dash community, you just know. Silent. It just means hard. Silent. Silent processing. Silent Clubstep. Silent circles. It's impossible.
To silent Dictros. You couldn't go a week without hearing a level called Silent Hell Rebirth being released. But
yeah,
we're forgetting about one specific silent level. This level transformed the idea of impossible levels and over time became one of the most easily recognizable levels in Geometry Dash history.
It's gonna be I was trying to think of a joke, but I couldn't think of something in time. And now the timing's ruined. Just resume the video.
The level in question, it's none other than Silent Clubstep.
Hip hip hooray! The video topic. This is a good video.
Silent Clubstep was a level created in Update 1.8, but later uploaded in 1.9 by the infamous creator Salent. Name sound familiar? Well, he did also collab with Cyrillic to make Silent Circles another one of the most well-known impossible levels. But that was over a full year later, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. In mid-2014, Silent Clubstep was by far the most treacherous level that was ever conceived.
So much aura, bro. I really like the full silhouette Clubstep monsters against the bright background. So aura.
The level of precision needed to beat this almost seemed humanly impossible. The number of frame-perfect jumps and ridiculously hard timings was unbelievable, and it had some of the hardest dual and straight fly parts that anybody had ever seen. The idea of beating this level never crossed anyone's mind. People kinda just accepted the fact that this was never gonna be beaten. But that didn't stop people from playing it. The earliest instance of someone attempting Silent Clubstep was when the famous player and creator Zobros beat the level in practice mode.
Bro, I didn't realize this, but Zobros was basically the #1 player at one point because he verified 2 top 1s in a row. Acropolis and then Ice Cream.
In 2015, Zobros was known as one of the most skilled players of all time. So when he finished the practice run in 974 attempts, people got worried. In the 13 months following this run, we saw very scarce progress on the level. However, in November of 2015, a player named Ice Cave got a record of 4%. This might seem like nothing, but at the time, this was unheard of. It would take another 6 months before someone broke this record. On May...
If you don't know, Ice Cave is the creator of Slaughterhouse and a bunch of other impossible levels, so he's another OG. And he made Grief, which is probably even more notable at this point.
May 16th, 2016, a player by the name of Emirate would get 6%, just barely making it into the infamous straight fly. But once again, progress would die down a lot. And we wouldn't see another big achievement for this level until 7 months later. As Update 2.0 was drawing to a close, the pro player scene had experienced a really big change. The best player at the time according to the community was Sonix, as he had just finished verifying the hardest demon in the game, Sonic Wave. But just 3 days after verifying the level, he decided to do what Zobros had done a year and a half prior and try to beat Silent Clubstep in practice mode. If you recall, the record to beat was 974 attempts. And Sonix absolutely crushed this record, beating it in nearly less than half the attempts it took Zobros. 495 attempts. That was the new record to beat, and it would stay this way for a long time.
Is that the challenge? Surpunch.
With the release of updates 2.1 and 2.11, this level sat in a dormant state for over a year. With the addition of so many new features and the unbelievable levels being released at this time, Silent Clubstep was kind of pushed to the side. But on June 10th, 2018, Silent Clubstep was awoken from its slumber.
Who's this?
A fairly unknown player by the name of Error got a new world record, 7%.
Dang.
For the first time, someone actually made it a decent amount into the straight fly.
Yeah, the straight
fly.
fly.
The rest of
that straight fly is just ridiculous. It's like you can't even see what's going on, and it's like it's not even straight fly. You have to like curve up ever so slightly. It's really awkward.
2018. Error would be the only player to make any more significant progress. 3 months after getting 7%, Error would get a run of 33 to 51 on September 14th.
Holy crap.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
This was the first instance of somebody completing the mini ball in the UFO.
Bro, nah. This UFO, I feel like if I practice enough, I could do the UFO. Even though what you're seeing on screen looks like an angel, actually. God bless. But I feel like I could do this.
This is considered one of the easiest parts of the level nowadays, but back then, it wasn't thought of like that. Then a week later, he would set a new practice mode record with 483 attempts, just barely beating out Sonic's record by 12 attempts. However, he was able to achieve this run with the help of a secret way that allowed him to skip the duel at 63%. And then it was 2019. But wait, there was actually another player who was grinding the level in practice mode as well.
Gerald Brown!
This record went under the entire community's radar, and with only 9 subscribers, the player Penguin Luigi set a new record of 438 attempts in practice. He shaved nearly a tenth of the attempts off the world record, and with only 6 views, this was one of the most underrated achievements up to this point in GD's lifetime.
That's crazy. 9 views!
For the next 5 months, progress on Silent Clubstep would take place in the form of practice mode runs, just trying to lower the amount of attempts it took.
Yeah, you know a level's hard when the only progress made at all is in practice mode.
To finish a run. On February 7th, 2019, the player Hyperola absolutely destroyed the previous record, achieving a 301 attempt practice run, lowering the old record by over 30%. And then, only 11 days later, the pro player Atomic would lower the record again, with a 267 attempt run. Just to put into perspective how much the community progressed on this level, Atomic's record was a little over a quarter of the attempts it took for Zobros to complete it 4 years earlier. It was clear that progression on this level was not stopping anytime soon. After this insane progress, the practice mode phase died down for a little while, and people started working on passing separate parts in their entirety. One of the specific parts that players were trying to beat was the mini cube at 71%, but it was so wide.
8JOH, 8 jumps of hell, one of the most iconic Geometry Dash parts. I feel like this part has so much aura, bro. The way the spikes are overlapped. Okay, maybe I'm glazing. The way the spikes are overlapped is so aura. Okay, am I glazing? Maybe I am, but it's Silent Clubstep. We're allowed to glaze Silent Clubstep.
Widely known for its spine-chilling difficulty and the near frame-perfect timings, that it was dubbed the 8 Jumps of Hell. Within the race to beat Silent Clubstep, there was also another race in progress. The race to beat the 8 Jumps of Hell. There were 2 main contenders that were racing to beat this challenge first, Ice Cave and Septagon. Both of these players had immense progress, and it seemed that at any moment, either one of them could get the lucky attempt.
Who do we think did it first? I'm gonna say my prediction. I feel like I would have known if Ice Cave did it, but actually no, it was probably Ice Cave because he made a whole level like that's like pretty much just this part but extended to 3 minutes long. My prediction's Ice Cave 1, Septagon 2nd.
But then out of nowhere, someone beat it.
Who? Brown Cat 5.
I did it! I fucking did it!
Brown Cat 5 did it.
I actually did it!
Congrats!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You might be wondering, between the two of them, who was the winner of the race? Well, it was actually neither of them. This mysterious person who
Brown Cat 5 did it, bro!
came out of nowhere and put the 8 jumps of hell to bed was a player by the name of Azza for the win.
Bro. His name should have been Brown Cat 5.
However, there was one minor problem. During Azza's completion, people began to realize that he was not playing the game mirrored like how the original part was, and players became hesitant about claiming Azza as the first victor.
Yeah.
But only 2 days later, we would see the first completed run. Icecape was able to get a 71 to 100 run, starting right before the 8 jumps of hell. Just like Azza, he didn't start before the mirror portal, but this was still a crazy achievement. Another 6 days passed.
Yes, bro, nobody wanted to do the mirror portal. I don't even blame them. Brown Cat 5 would have done the mirror portal, though. Brown Cat 5 would have done it.
And we would have another world record run. 69 to 100, achieved by the well-known creator and player, Stormfly. Not only did he set the record for the farthest run in the level up to this point, but he was officially the first player to complete the 8 jumps of hell with the mirror portal. Alongside the start of 2020, we would see a return to the practice mode attempts once again. The opening run came from the player Fire Serpent 9, who was able to drop the record down to 202 attempts. And nearly 3 months after, Error would finally return to the level again, and he...
Bro, that's what I'm saying, chat. Brown Cat 5 could have done it. Brown Cat 5 is gonna beat Grief in 2 attempts. Brown Cat 5 is gonna do it, chat. We know it. Brown Cat 5 is so nostalgic. I know, bro. I know. Brown Cat 5, man. I miss him.
We get the first sub 200 run. But Error wasn't ready to give up yet. He wanted to do something even greater. So the next day, he set the new hardest run. 67 to 100.
Yo! Resume.
This is claimed to be the best run up to date, but only a month passed and Icecape had returned with a sign of vengeance. With a run of 24 to 51, Icecape took the record from Error's hands. But on June 8th, 2020, some crazy news would be announced.
Brown Cat 5 clutched up and he got 9 to 100%.
Salient had partnered with Icecape, and together they updated the level to now make it possible on all refresh rates. Obviously, this change came with some nerfs, but the level was...
Yeah, see, this is where I kind of disagree with how Silent Clubstep was handled, because the Silent Clubstep that was back then that was so legendary and impossible, the issue is, look at this list of nerfs right here. The version that ended up getting verified was not the original version. So I feel like when it got verified, everybody was like, what? Somebody verified Silent Clubstep? The Silent Clubstep? Like, no, it wasn't the Silent Clubstep. It was a nerfed version. I feel like it kind of ruined its legacy because then it got rated. It placed at number 4. Like, I feel like it shouldn't even have gotten rated. It's not even the original version. That's my take. Like, I think the legacy of Silent Clubstep was ruined by that change. And I know why they did it, because they wanted to be fair to different refresh rates or whatever. But, like, it did nerf the level. And the level that's verified is not the level that we used to harbor as this insane, impossible top 1 silent level. So it just kind of lost aura because of that. That's why I think Silent Clubstep is very much a very cool level. But I do think that it does have slightly less aura because they nerfed it.
The time was the golden. Some people actually believe that the level was still humanly impossible, but after the new update, we were about to see a massive wave of new challengers. The first signs of progress would begin not even a day after the new version was released, when Septagon managed to get 62 to 100, passing the extremely painful duel section. The day after, Icecape would get 12 to 25, and then the day after that, Septagon got 24 to 63. Then the day after that, Error would return to the level again and would achieve the hardest run to date. 14 to 51.
See,
Unfortunately
bro,
for Error, this
as soon as it got nerfed, everybody started making progress. It wasn't cool anymore.
record was short-lived because only 6 days later on June 18th, Septagon would take back the record with a run of
Brown Cat 5 will beat Flamewall in one attempt with his eyes closed. No, I'm telling you, it's true. Brown Cat 5 would have done it.
48 to 98.
No, I messed up the memory. Oh my god.
He was so close to getting the furthest run to 100, but there were some miscalculations in the cube maze at the end. But for the first time in quite a while, we would finally see a world record stay for longer than a week. But that reign sort of came to an end. Well, you see, Septagon got another world record, 9%. Nearly making it to the end of the straight fly, which is insane. However, 9% is just barely easier than 48 to 98. What that actually meant was that Septagon now held the 2 best runs on the level, which was an incredible accomplishment. Seeing someone do this well on a nearly impossible level must have made something click in players' heads, because 5 days after the 9% record, Error would set a record of 9 to 25, dethroning Septagon in less than a week. Then a week later, he would also pass quite a sizable amount of the middle section, getting a run of 24 to 66, but 9 to 25 was still the run to beat. And for the first time since the nerf date, progress wouldn't be seen every week. As a matter of fact, the level went nearly 2 months without anything. But on September 17th, 2020, a new challenger was introduced. This player is considered by many to be one of the most important parts of the race to beat Silent Clubstep.
Yeah, Brown Cat 5 really did carry.
Setting countless records in 2020 and 2021. This is Hyperola.
Oh, I recognize that name. Hyperola, who later changed their name to Brown Cat 5.
Hyperola didn't actually start his progress in September of 2020. His first video on the level was actually 3 months earlier on June 11th, where he got 7%. Also, remember when I said the record at the time was 9 to 25? Well, Hyperola actually set a new record on July 8th with a run of 5 to 11, passing the entire ship corridor. You might be confused. How is a 6% run harder than everything else so far? Well, if you didn't know, the ship part at the beginning is the hardest part of Silent Clubstep, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
I don't even have to ask any of the people in this race which part was the hardest. They would all say the straight.
Yeah, that ship is like the biggest choke point like ever. Like that ship is probably harder than like the other 80% of the level combined. Like
fly. 2 weeks after getting 5 to 11, Hyperola would tie the record from 0, reaching 9% alongside Septagon.
That's why when Doggy was trying to beat this level, he got a run of 9 to 100%. And when you look at it at first, it's like, why would he not just be playing from 0? It's because this ship, it's like so hard. It's like, it might as well be his whole half of the level.
But he wasn't gonna settle for just a tie. And 2 months later, the record would be broken.
Oh, snap.
11%.
What did he die to?
Someone had finally passed the straight fly. This world record really started to prove how difficult Silent Clubstep truly was. Even after the level...
Brown Cat 5 will beat the ship in one attempt blindfolded while on mobile on 60 Hz. Hey, if anybody could do it, Brown Cat 5 could do it. You're so right, Joshua.
Got nerfed. People believe getting 11% was as hard as beating a top 10 challenge. But Hyperola wasn't gonna stop. He wanted more progress, and a week later on September 24th, he got 9 to 25, completing the rest of the pre-drop.
Wow.
This meant that he now held the record for the 3 hardest runs on Silent Clubstep. And soon enough, it would become the top 4.
Oh, with the RGB icons is crazy.
$24 to $76, or Yeah, doing it again.
Yeah, it seems like at this point, people were getting through every single part individually. And if you could get through every single part individually, who's to say you can't do it all together?
Yeah, I can upload that now. GG.
By the end of October, Hyperola had 5 of the top 6 records, and it seemed as if his skill and determination was miles above the competition. And that statement would only prove to be more true in the following months.
Oh! I did 24 to 100! Holy frick!
Holy frick!
What the hell was that?
Hyperola was unstoppable. Nobody was able to dethrone him. It had been over half a year since anyone else had the world record for this level, and he was all alone at the summit of Silent Clubstep. That is, until January 17th, 2021.
When Brown Cat 5 swooped in and stole all the records.
When a new player appeared from the shadows. Although he was seemingly unknown at the time,
What's his name?
he would steadily become one of, if not the most recognizable person when Silent Clubstep is brought up. Entering the race is none other than Vision.
Oh, Vision! Not Vision is the GOAT. Vision was making progress on the unnerfed one, if I remember correctly. He's a GOAT, bro. He's still working on it. Honorable mention, Brown Cat 5.
When talking about Vision's story with this level, we actually need to go back to September 2020, where he would post his first progress video of 67 to 100. This was an impressive run, no doubt, but it paled in comparison to other runs at the time. And seemingly out of nowhere on January 17th, 2021, Vision would set the practice mode record of 78 attempts, dethroning Era's record of 183 after 8 months. Not only did he come out of the blue and break the record, but nobody had ever heard of him. But after this practice run, Vision would pop off.
Nice. Yeah.
Within the first 2 months of his grind to beat Silent Clubstep, Vision started getting very noticeable progress. And what was even crazier was his hardest demon was Bloodbath. That may seem like a pretty hard level.
He was jumping from Bloodbath to Silent Clubstep? That's crazy.
But compared to everyone else in the race, he was a dark horse candidate. Except one of these players would slowly leave the forefront of the race. Just like that, we were back to a 1v1. And this was a back and forth battle for over 4 months.
Wow, I love the way that like the clips change in sync to like the song. W editing from Math Genius. Go give him some love.
In a crazy turn of events, Vision was finally on top. With around 180,000 attempts, he was now the leader of the race.
I feel like with 180k, I could definitely jump to like Tartarus, maybe, or like Zodiac. No, Tartarus. I could jump to Tartarus with 180k.
Except, it only lasted for a couple of hours.
Pink Cat 6! Brown Cat 5's girlfriend.
I got to the drop.
What?
I'm not fucking kidding. I just got to the drop. Oh my god!
Someone had made it to the drop.
Misanthrope
After
song.
6.5 years, the pre-drop was finally completed. But who was the one to do it? Well, It was actually neither of them.
Is this where
pro
Paco comes in?
player is in the top 100 best players in the world. And at the time, their hardest demon sat at number 10 on the demon list. This was Paco.
Yep.
The news spread like wildfire. How did another player just randomly join the race and set a world record as their first progress?
Alright.
And how did she manage to do it in only 11,000 attempts? It became obvious that Paco was the most dominant player out of the three.
You know what I think it is? Vision's hardest level was Bloodbath, first of all. I don't know what Hyperola's hardest was, but I don't think either of them were nearly as good as Paco. She had the leg up with, like, previous skill. Like, these two guys right here were just crazy enough to just go for it, with, like, definitely not prepared. But Paco had more preparation. I think that's why she ended up being really successful.
But after this, she wouldn't upload any more progress until 9 months later.
Oh.
If you recall, Vision got 16% the same day Paco got 25. So if anyone were to break the record, it would be Vision. A week after getting 16, he would get 24 to 100. Surprisingly, this wasn't his hardest run, but he did tie Hyperola's record for the longest run on Silent Clubstep. Another 3 weeks went by, and history was made again.
Who's this? Oh, this is Vision.
Oh, what? I just got 27.
Vision had officially become the second person to make it to the drop on Silent Clubstep, and now held
Let me tell you, there was nobody more passionate over this level than Vision. I'm pretty sure he's still going for the unnerfed version, and I think he has like 800,000 attempts or something like ludicrous. We'll go over that after. I don't want to spoil too much.
a world record of 27%. This also meant that he was the first person to have the level complete in 2 connected runs. But he wasn't done yet.
Wow. Oh my god.
Jinx.
New best.
After 250,000 attempts, the 30% barrier would finally be broken. People were enthralled by the amount of dedication Vision was putting into this level, and because of that, a lot of new players began their journeys in Silent Clubstep. A big example of this would be the pro player Trick, who would start achieving runs a month after he finished verifying the level Firework. He managed to get some pretty impressive runs like 48 to 100, 33 to 100, and even 14 to 73 on December 22nd. But the biggest surprise was when he got a new best of 19. This was the 3rd best run from 0, and he only started playing from the beginning 2 days prior. Alongside Trick, we also saw some other new additions to the race. Diamond, the verifier of Sakupin Circles, achieved 24 to 100 on January 28, 2022, and Septagon returned to the level after a 1.5-year hiatus, and also got 24 to 100.
Bro, everybody was like, I'm gonna be the verifier! No, I'm gonna be the verifier! They were fighting for it.
Days earlier, after a staggering 390,000 attempts. But while these new challengers were making their mark in the race, Vision and Hyperola were silently grinding the level in the background. Hyperola would actually get a new best of 17% on the 5th of December. And 2 weeks later, Vision would do this.
Vision would get Brown Cat 5 to help him get 0 to 100.
Oh. I did 14 to 100. Oh my god.
Wow,
I did 14 to
100.
100. Oh. What?
14 to 100. 86% of the level was completed without dying.
That's nuts.
That number just seems ridiculous. But surprisingly, this would only end up being the 3rd hardest run at the time. And as we went into 2022, things would only get crazier. On February 4th, Vision would get a new best, but not in normal mode, or from a run, or even in practice mode. He used a feature called no-clip accuracy. For those who aren't aware of what no-clip is, it's a hack that allows players to phase through the hitboxes that
Yeah, I use this when I beat all my extreme demons. But then I pretend like I didn't use no clip.
would typically kill them. With the client Mega Hack, you can play an entire level with no clip and see how precise your movements were, all with the help of this little button right here. It allows you to see your accuracy in one of the corners, and there's an additional option to see how many times you would have died. Vision decided to use no clip accuracy on Silent Clubstep just for the heck of it, and he managed to get an accuracy of 99.94% with only 7 deaths throughout the run. Although a run like this wouldn't place in the top 10, this was still very impressive nonetheless. While this run was still going on, we continued to see a multitude of players attempting the level. Most of the progress was pretty small, except on Valentine's Day 2022, when someone uploaded a video getting 25%, 24 to 97%, and also getting 99.91% using no-clip accuracy.
Dude, that's so cool. I hope we get another race like this soon. Of people where like a level's so hard that it's not even like, I got 10, then 20, then 30, then 40, where it's like, I got 9, and then 10%, and everybody's like celebrating over the new best with 10%. And then like people are doing no-clip accuracy. Like, I hope we get something like that again. I feel like the next thing we're gonna have like that is rather gonna be like Death Corridor, like maybe Eternus, or like, I don't even know, probably Eternus. I feel like Eternus is gonna be like the next big thing. Like right now is Grief. Right now we're all about Grief. That's the big thing going on right now. But I think the next big Geometry Dash event is gonna be Eternus. That's what I think.
Just like Paco, this was their first progress video on the level, and they were officially the 3rd person to make it to the drop from 0. This was Thick Boy Parker. With all this new
I'm sorry, what is his name? Did I hear that right?
from 0. This was Thick Boy Parker.
Thick Boy Carper? What?
With all this new progress by up-and-coming players, Silent Clubstep's popularity was at an all-time high. Hundreds of thousands of people gathered together.
Bro, heck, I even made a video out of it. Silent Clubstep, and one day I think it was one nerf.
Watch the verification finally come to fruition. It felt so close, yet so far at the same time. But the very next day, the community would be left in utter shock.
Whoa, I got 65 on Silent Clubstep.
Whoa.
I got 65.
That's like a jump from, what was the previous best, like 30?
After 397,000 attempts,
Whoa!
and over a year and a half later, Vision got 65%. It didn't seem real. It felt like just a short while ago, people were saying this level was never going to be verified. But this silenced any uncertainties about whether or not this level was really possible. Another 2 months passed, and nobody was even close to topping Vision's record. We would, however, see some decent progress from the other players. Trick was able to achieve a run of 14 to 95 on February 21st.
I didn't realize Trick was a part of this. Did I say that already? I think I at least thought it. I didn't know he was going for this.
Hyperola became the 4th person to make it to the drop, getting 25% on April 1st. Thick Boy Parker got 9 to 72 on April 16th, and the pro player Cursed managed to sneak in a run of 24 to 100 on the 1st of May. Vision's lead was slowly starting to diminish, so if anyone wanted a chance at claiming the world record, they would need to do it as soon as possible. And on May 19th, that's exactly what happened.
What?
Paco had returned once again. During that same day, she actually made it to the drop 16 times, and considering only 4 players had ever made it to the drop,
bro, first person in the world to be consistent at Silent Clubstep.
It was clear that she would give Vision the most competition. And the very next day, she would get 2 more records.
Why did she lock in out of nowhere?
62. 65.
Back to back?
What?
No fucking way.
What?
Oh god.
No.
Holy shit.
By a factor of 0.09%.
Yo, 0.09% record is crazy.
Paco regained the lead in the race, and this would be the start of the final battle for the verification. Paco versus Vision.
Who
It was
will
only a
win?
matter of time before one of them would reign victorious. And on May 22nd, 2022, they were off to the races.
This song. 12 to 100? 72%? Wait, why am I invested right now? 11 to 100? 66? 11 to 100 again? 72 times 2? Bro, getting through the 8 jumps of hell, though, that's like the final big hurdle. Once you get through that, it's just a memory maze. You gotta just not get nervous.
9 to 100.
The hell?
The community was on the edge of their seats. Every day, these two players were spending thousands of attempts, inching closer
this
and
is dope.
closer to perfection. The finish line was in plain sight. All that was left to do was cross it. And on July 17th, 2022, Silent Clubstep was defeated.
The pausing! I remember the pausing! That was controversial.
I verified it!
Oh my god.
What?
What?
Oh, I like this edit.
Yeah! Wait!
Oh my god.
What?
Okay. What the hell? Holy shit. Yeah, maybe in a month.
What?
Holy god.
Oh my god, I verified it!
That was
So cool.
I verified Silent Clubstep.
The race was over. After one
Oh, Brown Cat 5 could have had it, but Brown Cat 5, Brown Cat 5 was practicing up so that Brown Cat 5 could verify Eternus. Silent Clubstep's for the chumps. Brown Cat 5 was on to bigger and better things by now. That's why Brown Cat 5 wasn't the verifier.
138,000 attempts.
Dang. Dude, I don't think, I wonder if I'll ever spend over 100k attempts on a level. I don't know.
Paco had verified Silent Clubstep, the level that people believed to be humanly impossible for years, had been beaten legitimately. 2,649 days was the amount of time since Zobros got the very first sign of progress. And over 7 years later, Paco finally closed the book of the race to beat Silent Clubstep.
Mm-hmm. It's a good video.
With the verification now written in stone.
Oh, also, that thumbnail, go back. Heck, you know what, I'll just show it up real quick. I think this verification picture is one of my favorite thumbnails, like, ever for an Extreme Demon. It's so, like, cool, because like, normally you have stuff like this. It's just, like, a picture with, like, text, which, nothing wrong with that. Those are cool, too. But, like, I love how unique this one is. How it's, like, 3 images of 3 iconic parts. You got the middle with the Clubstep monster, iconic. You got the duel, where, like, that was, like, the big hurdle a lot of people get stuck at, like Vision and Paco. And then we got the 8 jumps of hell over here. I love this thumbnail. I love this thumbnail.
Making this video, no one else has beaten Silent Clubstep yet, but the race to become the first victor is finally starting to heat up. Trick managed to get 24 to 100 on July 20th. Zanny, the verifier of Sonic Wave Infinity, got 33 to 100 on July 24th. The pro player Zoink came out of nowhere.
Nobody knows who that is, bro.
And got 50% and 15 to 100.
Bro, Zoink has been unserious since day one. Look at his profile picture. No, for reference, back then, Zoink was, like, extremely underrated. Like, nobody really, like, knew... Like, people knew he existed, but he wasn't, like... Now he's, like, the #1 big guy, you know? But, like, back then, he was so underrated. Like, he would beat all this hard stuff and wouldn't really get recognition. So that's why he said, like... a player named Zoink came out of nowhere. Because people didn't really know who he was yet. Because this video came out in, what, 2022? Yeah.
on July 22nd. Vision also beat his previous best by getting 72 on July 23rd after 589,000 attempts.
Wow!
And Cursed did the unthinkable, achieving 74% on July 21st after only 25,000 attempts.
That's it?
Some people have even decided to go a step further and attempt to beat Silent Clubstep in its original unnerfed form. Thick Boy Parker has set countless records on the unnerfed version since February of 2020.
See, that's my issue, bro. Like, this level has an unnerfed version that is theoretically possible. They should have never nerfed it, man.
Such as
It would have been top 1 if they didn't nerf it.
15 to 52, 24 to 73, 48 to 100, and even 11%. Alongside him, Cursed has also shown some signs of progress, achieving 9 to 25 on July 24th. The updated version of the level may have been verified, but who knows? Maybe there's a new chapter in the Book of Silent Clubstep, waiting to be written.
Brown Cat 5 buffed it and began his verification. Yo, good video. W Math Genius, go give let's get Math Genius to 50,000 subscribers. Everybody subscribe to Math Genius. Let's make it happen. Awesome video.